Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this video we are looking at the Marvel Legends Onslaught series Captain America. Now this guy is another Captain America figure. Obviously, we've gotten so many of them lately. Some people are upset that we're getting more. It makes sense. Captain America is popular. That's the kind of character people are going to buy if they're not into collecting. They're just seeing things that they recognize, they'll buy him. So I get that. And the other thing I get is that he's on a new body, so I'm really happy about that. Captain America should be rather large, and he is on the newer body, that larger body that we saw for Whirlwind and Grim Reaper. Who else? Someone else had it. I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice body, and I'm glad to see Captain America on it. It still has some issues, but for the most part, it's pretty good. The body itself. He does come with the werewolf head. I guess it's a werewolf head. I don't know anything about that storyline, but the fact that he has a werewolf head really bothers me for some reason. I don't know. But he does come with that, and it's fairly well done. He comes with some interchangeable hands and a shield and some straps, which are laughably bad. But overall, it's a pretty decent figure, so let's take a look at it up close. Okay, so like I said, this guy is on the new body, which is mostly good, so that's a good thing. Captain America should be a little bit thicker, should be a little bit bigger, so let's give him a height measurement. He stands roughly 16.5 centimeters, which makes him just about a little over 6.5 inches. So he's not super tall, but he's definitely got a more bulky look to him now that he's not on the other body, that Shield Agent body. This one's a little bit thicker. Unfortunately, the chest on this particular mold is not particularly big. In fact, it's too small. It's smaller than the shoulders. Each pec is significantly smaller than the shoulder. And the size of the abdominal muscles individually, they're way too big, especially in relation to the chest. So that part looks kind of odd. It's not bad, and it's mostly hidden on this figure due to the paint job, but it is a little bit odd. Otherwise, it's not too bad. The shoulders are maybe a little bit narrow compared to the waist, but it's not too bad. He does have a new head, which is okay. I don't know. I think it's a little bit thick. It doesn't quite have the right look to me, but it's not bad. It's okay. I feel like his nose should be a little bit thinner. His eyes should be closer together. But the square jaw, it's okay. You know, it's really boxy looking, so it's not the best sculpt. They did sculpt the A on there and some nice wrinkles, so it's not bad. It's not great. Same thing goes for the paint job. Most of the paint job is okay. You can see the red lines on the torso there are fairly well done, but the star is lacking. It's not even, it's not uniform, and it's not quite balanced. The top point is smaller than the bottom points, which does not look good. They did paint the belt buckle and the belt loops, so that's a good thing. The white on the arms is not particularly good. So I don't know. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't. For me personally, if they're going to redo Cap on a new mold, they should put some effort into it and make it good. So he's pretty disappointing, especially up against the other figures from the wave so far. He's not that great. I'll go over the articulation real quick, then we'll look at the accessories, and that'll be it. But it's just not so great. So the articulation on the head, you get the ball peg and the disc or the hinge. So that's pretty standard. It's not too bad. You need to be able to pop the head off to put the wolf head on, so it comes off fairly easily. The shoulders, they still aren't well done. Just like we've seen on the other figures that use this mold, the articulation's super limited right there. So you have to really either force it or just leave it, but that's all you're going to get. You get the full rotation, but the hinge doesn't work. Bicep swivel is okay. Double jointed elbow works out okay. Wrist swivel at the glove, nope, we don't have that. We get it down here though, so that's okay, and we get the hinge. This hand is meant for gripping. This hand is also meant for gripping. He has nothing to hold though, just want to point that out. Ab crunch works okay. It's painted almost all the way up, so that's alright. It goes pretty far forward, so that's okay. Waist twist is fine. The hips work pretty nicely on this guy. They go out far enough to the sides, all the way forward. We have our thigh swivel, our double jointed knee, so no problems there. We have our shin swivel at the top of the boot, and then we have our pretty decent ankle hinge. So articulation wise, other than the shoulders, it's not bad. Really nothing to complain about, so that's alright. So now let's look at the accessories. And first of all, I want to point out these shouldn't be accessories. We have the straps that go onto his torso to make it look like he's got the harness for his shield. They don't connect in any way. They weren't glued. They don't snap in. They just sit there, which means they basically don't sit there. Really poorly designed. And also, I want to point out, I don't know what's going on with the sculpt work at Hasbro for the anatomy, but his back is totally weirdly shaped. It's really curvy going this way. He's got no thickness in the shoulder region at all. And the shoulders, like I said, they're just too narrow. It's just weird. I don't know what they're doing with their anatomy. It's just not right. Anyway, we have the wolf head, so let's put that on and see how that looks, even though I think it's a ridiculous concept. I guess some of you are going to be excited for it. It looks really crappy. Unless it looked really crappy in the comics, this is really crappy. It just sits really high up and looks totally out of place. I don't get it at all. I just don't get it. And the wolf part itself is sculpted well. You can see the nose has like that snarl going on. The teeth are painted well. It just looks really weird. I don't know. We do get some interchangeable hands, like I said, so we have the pointing hand. So you can put that on there and he can point at things. If you really wanted to do that, you can now. And we get the saluting hand, which is fine, but I think if they're going to give us interchangeable hands, they should be more than just saluting. Why don't we get a hand for holding the shield in an action pose? The shield is just our same standard shield as before. It's really burgundy compared to his red, but I guess that's okay. And the blue is really light, so it looks weird. It snaps on the same, goes on his back the same, but it's just, I don't know, the whole thing feels very, very lazy, especially in comparison to the other legends of this wave. This feels like a kid's toy, really. I can't say I like it very much. So there it is. I don't really recommend it. That's my final verdict. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you stick around for the photos here at the end, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.